one of the reasons that I chose Dahrien Cordell as a name in the SCA was that I had found an interesting fellow up in the Scandinavian lands, up in the northern lands, by the name of Dahrien Cordell. And this is a translation of one of the stories that comes down from him. Down the fjord came I, sailing swiftly on cataracts of melting ice, sunset behind me, but each star of the heavens now visible and gleaming. I would come to miss their light in the coming hunt. Where the waters went, whence I could not, rushing to cascade and steep falls ahead, I steered to the side, lacy frost and small icicles crunching as my small boat scraped there. I donned my helmet and took up bow, arrows, and spear, then leapt out to stalk through pillows of white snow. I enjoyed the serenity while I moved toward deep crater's edge, taking a last look about me in the light at plains of snow, at spires rising sharp against sharper moonlight. Below, I knew, my quarry waited in darkness, lurking in twisted networks of tunnels and caves. I slid down along the crater's side, slowly from foothold to foothold, lest sliding scree fall through ahead of me, announcing my passage. At the bottom I sought the gaping maw, not of the beast I both sought and feared, but of the first cave in its lightless lair. Finding it, I lay down there and listened, testing the air with my nose as well. I would carry no lamp or torch, for if I came upon this brutal beast laying listless, light would surely wake it. Finding no sign, I dropped down, entering from above. Time would come to find if an exit existed, if I found success and lived. So I carefully explored. 3 passages left this first cave, and I heard a soft breeze coming from one. There would surely be some other way out then. I chose that passage and came to a cave similar to the first, with another trio of tunnels leading, including that from which I had just entered. Lacking light, I listened again, hearing the breeze louder now, but also a rhythmic whisper of low, intermittent sound from another of the tunnels. It might not be my perilous prey, yet was the best clue to its possible presence. So I swept through to another chamber, hoping to catch him. But the moment I left the tunnel's close walls, I felt claws snatch my shoulders from above and heard a great flapping. Looking up toward what held me, I saw it was a great bat. It hung there, wicked, black, with a faint phosphorescence from something in its fur. My spear lost in my surprise, I could not bring my bow to bear, so I hung helpless as it carried me off. We flew through a maze of ways, through galleries large and small, over yawning chasms, down a surprising natural staircase of stone, and through a blur of dark and deeper shadows, dizzying me as we went. As we entered another cave, there was a sudden whomp above me, and I fell hard to the rocky ground. To my great surprise, I saw 2 super bats fleeing the chamber in which I found myself, down separate tunnels with another leading out in a third direction. I almost wished myself to the comforts of southern stories palaces then, but hunting the foul beast who laired here was my most important charge. So I stood achingly and rolled my shoulders, bow in hand, then checked my arrows, now crooked from my rough landing, but I judged them serviceable. I followed the tunnel away from the bats, listening and testing the air. I heard nothing of the bats' retreat, nor of other beasts, although the one I sought would suffer no others below, nor winter wolves, nor tropical tigers, nor things more fearsome still. As I approached the next space, nothing waited, so I carefully followed its walls, exploring. At the third opening I smelled, nay, it struck me, a pungent, musky, carnal odor, both somehow pleasing and off-putting. The mix of a horse's sides after a run in the summer afternoon and the atmosphere of the butcher's yard, of the bear's breath and the sweet sweat of a lover's lodge. With care, I stepped back soundlessly, bow bent with quivering muscles, arrows nocked, and I let breath out in a silent whisper. The string snapped, but a whisker passed my cheek. The arrow flew dark through tunnel ahead, and triumphant, I heard pain erupt in thunderous roaring, shrieking tumult to quake the caverns about me. I took no chance and quickly loosed as many arrows as I could toward the one who would make me its prey if I could not kill it now. My only signal sign of success was that I yet lived as din died down and wailing went. To be sure of my work, I fit a final arrow and crept to follow behind the last. In the passage, the beast's bulk blocked the way, only a pair of paces from where I'd stood. My darts bristled from its head and its shoulders. I could not find its breast as it lay, seemingly dead. To be sure of my work, my final arrow I set to its eye, found in the dark, and loosed. Weary then, wondrously not wounded, I wended my way out through warped wanderings. Seeking the grotto from which I had entered, or another egress, I avoided bats and pitfalls, climbed up and down and sideways as needed. Through the earth I went. Crazily, I recognized an overall shape to the system of galleries and passages. They formed a dodecahedron. Finally, I escaped to bring this glad news. The foul foe is gone, my people. No more to trouble us. I, Dahrien Cordell, won when I went to hunt the Wumpus.